it's the people. The people make it interesting because I tell you something, yeah. I'm going to give an absolute Linda, baby, Linda. I did not expect you to last as long as you did. I really did not, because I feel like you've been fighting for your life since you got there. Since that first Traitors, I was like, she's gone. She gone.
Well, goodbye.
Yes, people then. So I've been doing reactions to the latest season of the Traitors at UK, season 3. And I don't know whether loads and loads of people are watching them. So I thought, I came back from a weekend away, and I was really hungover. I thought, you know what's going to be the best, yeah, the absolute best, is some food and Traitors. So I was on episode 3, and I had 6 episodes to watch. I cannot tell you how much I love this show. And I think it's the psychological warfare, because I think every season that's come on now, and I've watched the celebrity one. I haven't watched the latest American one because I'm just watching that now. But I've watched every other one basically, and like I think like, oh, it's never gonna be as good now. But it's the people. The people make it interesting, because I tell you something, yeah. I'm going to give an absolute Linda, baby, Linda. I did not expect you to last as long as you did. I really did not, because I feel like you've been fighting for your life since you got there. Since that first Traitors, I was like, she's gone. She gone.
Well, goodbye.
Because his name's not Joe. What is his name? It's gonna bug me. The fact that Jake, not Joe. I'll come on to Joe in a minute. But the fact that Jake has been like a dog with a bone since episode 1. Dog with a bone. He wouldn't let you go. He would not letting that drop. And you fought, man. I mean, I don't know if you fought very well. Like, I will say that. I don't think you fought very well. But you fought still. You fought still, Linda. And you know what? You had integrity as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, you really, really did. And for someone, again, not to be patronizing about her age, but like, again, like she said, man, at her time in life to do something like this, it just goes to show that anybody can do anything, number one. And in that regard, she done it. Do you know what I mean? She came on, she was not the first to go. She survived many a round table, like, and she really held her own. Do you know what I mean? Well, I think it could be you, actually. Well, that's a bit convenient. You're putting it onto me in it. Do you know what I mean? Well, you know. So I think she did really well there. I'd seen up to episode 4, sorry. So I saw when Kasim was banished. My thing was with Kaz, he was actually subject to people kind of ostracizing him. Now look, I understand that like you may not want to talk about certain strategies and whatever, because you don't. If you think he's a traitor, why would you want to be talking up like theories and whatever with him? But you know what you could have done instead, if you really thought it was him, is like lead him down a garden path or something. Do you know what I mean? But to actively make him feel ostracized, like he shouldn't be in a room, I didn't like that.
You can't sit with us!
And I didn't like how Joe was talking about him either. Like, I find it so disrespectful. I mean, I'm saying that. I'm now watching the American one, and the Americans don't business. Are you? Yeah? Your breathing's up about your asthma. Like, it's you. And I know it's you as well, yeah, because, like, you just got that treacherous face. And you know what? I can't stand you either. If anyone should have been murdered, it should have been him. They don't business, I don't care. So maybe, like, I'm being a bit too sensitive, but I kind of felt like with Kaz, Joe was just a bit just like, oh, here comes the dramatics, and here comes the and him. I'm like, bro, like, you don't need to be saying all that. Just telling the reason why you think he's a traitor. You don't need to get all personal about it, which I think he did. And the fact that then when Kaz left, bearing in mind that he was gunning for him, yeah, he wasn't even sorry.
Apologise.
It was because there was no murder that night. The next person, because that's when they asked Anna to join, and Anna said, hell no, I'm not about to be your cannon fodder, mate, like absolutely not. And then what shocked me, because when I came back, was that they all turned on Tyler. Now I was always a bit conscious about Tyler, yeah, because I was like, anybody that's kind of front and center, like leading the pack and whatever, you've always got to be conscious that you might be next, because you had so much to say. And I never forget that when they were all going for Freddie, he changed his mind and went for Kaz, I think. Which the two girls, Livy and Leanne, were just like, I can't believe that you just I think it was Kaz anyway, that you just completely flipped on it because all day long you were saying Freddie, and he did say that he wasn't sure at the end, but you didn't say that you weren't gonna go for Freddie. So of course they're gonna be like, well, what are you doing? But obviously Livy was just like, I can't believe no one's listening to me, you know, like, and she was vexed about it and upset, like, you know, we just got rid of another faithful, because she is down in Freddie's neck back that are you the traitor, and it's like, yo, you don't know, it ain't him, show yourself. But I guess like when you're certain, and you only know that when you're in that situation of being as like, I know in my bones that it's you, and we keep getting rid of great people and no one is listening to me. So I understand that, like, where that frustration came from. But again, she didn't have to wait too long because they then murdered her. They murdered her, and she was like, I know it's you, Freddie. I know you've murdered me. It's like, I truly know. Then the next episode, yeah, Dan, like, I was rating Dan, but even before this episode, I was like, he needs to just move a bit carefully here, because remember, they don't know who a traitor is, so they're looking for any possible sniff of any activity that goes, I can't trust you. And the way he went on about that shield and the fact that he gunked Minah, which I thought was a bit rich, being like, Minah being on like, I can't believe that you did this to me, and I can't believe that you lied to me. Honey, you've been lying to people since the beginning, since the absolute beginning, so you can't really be like that upset, to be honest. But I do kind of understand what she's saying in that, like, I can't trust you, and they don't know that she's a traitor in it. So like, realistically, you're behaving in a treacherous way, and that you are right. You could just be playing a very selfish, singular game, but here what? You can't get to the end on Traitors playing singularly like that, because if they don't trust you, you're gonna be the next one up. Like, that's just another person. Even if they don't want to get rid of another faithful, really, that's another person who basically ain't winning the money. So if you're gonna go and act like that and be all selfish, like, I ain't got you back. So he kind of did himself a disservice, really, and waited so long to just admit that, oh, it was me. Like, you know, because again, they need to know they can trust you. If they can't trust you, then they can't back you to the end. So I think he did himself over there, really. So they banished him, and then the death match, the death card game, that was brilliant, man. I really enjoyed how they switched things up and took them, make people feel like they're comfortable. You're cool, you ain't cool, you about to go and sit yourself in a coffin. And I love the fact that, like, when each of them came out of the coffin, yeah, it was like, because they've got nothing to go on, have they? So everything's getting watched, though. You know, Anna's trembling, and I'm like,
and the Oscar goes to...
they're going on like she slept in that coffin all night. Do you know what I mean? Like, she probably slept in their bed, put on the same clothes. Let's put you in the coffin in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been kept in the crypt. Like, come on. Like, but I do understand that, like, she's been dealt a little bit of a card. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I do understand that to a point. But anyway, so you got her going on all extra with that. So obviously then when Alexander's come, which I think is a perfect reaction, like, I'm going to grin. Because, like, wow, this has been a bit fun, isn't it? I'm not actually in a coffin, guys. I've not actually been chilling with Skull and Bones all evening. But they're just like, DC's reaction. That smirking, that grin. Why didn't you tell us exactly what happened? Like, man, just chill out a little bit. The same thing when they got to Leon's, and obviously, you know, Fawzia didn't make it, which is a shame, and I did feel for her as well. But obviously, Leon's screwing, because it's like, one of you, yeah, they're patting me on the back, put me in that coffin. So I don't want to sit down here and talk with you, Leon, who's getting all upset and whatever, because he's, you know, they used to be like that and now they're like that. He's just gone through something, mate, and he doesn't know who to trust. It could have been you.
I just don't trust none of y'all.
So you might know that you're faithful. He doesn't know. And on the subject of Leanne anyway, like, I do feel like she's a little bit like I like her, actually, and I'd like to see her get a lot further in the competition. But I do feel like she's a little bit heads up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't stand people that are like, so I heard you got a problem then. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind people coming to say, like, is there an issue? Is there something wrong? Because there's nothing wrong with that. I much prefer that than, like, oh, you know there's a problem, but I have to come and tell you there's a problem. Like, you know, let's just be adults and talk about it. So I don't mind that. But everything's got some next level.
You got a problem, Pinky?
I do now. So she makes me laugh, especially when she had that little to and fro with Alexander. Yeah, because like she was saying that he was patronising, which I think, you know, he was trying to say basically on what planet. What was the question he was asking? On what planet would that have been a better line of questioning than something else? I can't remember what it was, but I agreed with him in what he was saying, and I didn't think it was patronising. I think sometimes, yeah, when people can speak in terms of like they've got a very almost posh accent or whatever, I think people can just see that as a case of them being like, don't talk down to me. And it's like, that's just how the man talks. I don't think, like, from the beginning right through to now, Alexander ain't changed the way that he speaks at all. So I was a bit like, I don't know why she's beefing like that. But anyway, yeah, Fawzia got murdered, bless her. And then that was the end of poor Linda. Poor purple-haired Linda. Like, she had sung her last song because each round, really, her name would kept getting brought up. But what I love, though, is that Minah had the forethought to say, look, I ain't looking to backstab you, do you know what I mean? Like, but the heat, man, you've got some work to do. And Linda was like, look, I understand. And you know what? If you need to vote for me, but it means you can get all the way here, like, into the end of the competition, you do what you need to do. And I'm like, you see, that's a true one right there. If I can't win it, I want you to win it, you know? And I think that's the reason why, yeah, that listen, I'm not trying to make it personal, yeah. I'm not trying to make it personal. But I cannot stand Charlotte. Cannot stand Charlotte. Because obviously I want Minah to get to the final anyway, just because she's done so well so far. And I don't think she's been like a dreadful person to do it. Like, I mean, she's spoken about the murders and stuff, and she love a murder. She love a murder. Listen, yeah, our benefits, right, are getting to murder. So I'm feeling like I've lost the benefit tonight of just murdering some. All right. That's an argument. But I think in the main, yeah, I think she's been like just a real joy to watch how she's navigated it. And I feel like even though Traitors is the name of the game and like you can't really trust anyone, the fact that Minah is sat down there being like, oh, I want to take Charlotte all the way to the final of the sisterhood and and you got that bad wicked one, yeah.
I'm a snag.
Like, that's all like, I'm not going to tell Minah that people are chatting out her name and people are calling out her name for being a traitor and stuff. I was just praying, yeah, in that round table. I don't know if it was that round table the next day when he was calling her out. Freddie was calling her out, that he was going to say, look, we've been talking about it, like me and Charlotte. He didn't mention her name, right? So they've gone back to the little pulpit business at the end, the Traitors pulpit, and she still hasn't been able to know that Charlotte is out here ready to snake her. And look, again, I get it. Charlotte is kind of right in saying that, look, as a traitor, you shouldn't be ready to trust no one. But the fact is, she does trust you. And you're setting up for a fall. So I'm just hoping and praying, yeah, that somehow, some way, that Freddie or someone says, it was your party, your Welshie over there, it was her that turned around and said that actually I really think it could be Minah. I'm just hoping and praying. But I don't think it's going to happen that easy. And then Anna got murdered that night, bless her. She didn't come down to breakfast. And I do feel bad for her because she really has just been, you know, even when they were talking about it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Jerry.
Like, yo, she served a purpose, man. Time to go. Time to go. So I do feel bad for her. Now Alex, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, it's a slip up, man. He obviously didn't mean to slip up, but he did slip up. And then the defense of himself wasn't very good either. So, you know, see you, bro. I mean, he had some really good reasons for wanting to win that money, but it's just like, it's so indefensible at that point. Poor Alex. Poor Alex. And then Lisa did get murdered. To her own credit, she said that she ain't good at this game. Do you know what I mean? She said she wasn't good at this game. So realistically, she did well to get to this point. Let's be real. She did. She seems like a lovely lady. And, you know, she was never going to get banished, really, was she? Let's be fair. So I think she did well to get to that point. And then, yes, they banished Leon, didn't they? Leon, I think he had to catch some heat from like being loud and wrong in several places. But again, I can understand why they thought it could be him. And at this point now, I'm like, Minah needs to be really careful, because I know for a fact that Freddie at the end of that was like, yo, I'm 100% sure it's Minah. 100% sure. So I don't know how she's going to counteract that, but I'd be so gutted if Charlotte came in after all this time and just pulled the rug from under her feet. So yeah, for me, you've got Joe left, you got Frankie, you got Jake, Charlotte, Leon, Minah, Freddie, and Alexander. So, as I said, I would hope that the next person to go is either Charlotte or Joe. I think anyone else, even if like Minah doesn't win, but any of the others did win, like say Leanne or Freddie, Alexander, even though he's new, like I wouldn't have a problem. But you see that piece of Joe, I just don't like Joe. I don't like Joe at all. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm on my own with that. I do like Frankie. I think she's sick. I do like her. I do like Jake as well. I think he's done a good job in terms of the traitor hunting. And in fact, everyone else, it's really just Joe. It's really just Joe that I don't, and Charlotte too. So the two of them, I hope they don't win not a stitch, not a dime.
I'm just kidding. But seriously.
Nothing. But yeah, I'd love to know what everyone else's thoughts is on this. I am absolutely loving, by the way, Traitors US. So if anyone isn't watching that, like, I've just watched the episode, episode 3, where Phaedra has had to tell Pavati in no uncertain terms, you better mind yourself, you know.
No one likes you, Parvati. Everyone says you're a traitor. We can be in this game together, but you're gonna play fair. And if you don't, you have more problems at the faces.
You better mind yourself. Oh, I don't like, whoa, it's about to go down in Traitor US time. Like, it looks sick, so definitely enjoying that. So yeah, if anyone else is watching it, let me know. But for now, yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you on the next. All right.